Howdy team, welcome to today's episode. I have got a 10-minute clip for you from our Funnel Accelerator Day, which was absolutely awesome. We had 10 mortgage advisors, financial advisors coming to learn how to build a 3-step funnel that will convert leads into appointments. We built a landing page, a calendar booking page, and a thank you page, along with the email automations linked to those steps to make sure that when they're leveraging social media content, they're actually taking their content to somewhere. And this opener was how I set the day up. So I hope you enjoy this one. If you want to come to our next Funnel Accelerator, then you'll find a link in the show notes. So let's dive in to this week's episode.
To kind of illustrate the point of what today is really about in terms of why a funnel is so important, is on the last 4 weeks of business that we have done in my brokerage, the way you've got to start thinking of your business is in 4 key areas. So as you begin to understand that customers go through a buying cycle, typically at the top, what you'll find is there's a whole host of people that are unaware at the top. So we don't even worry about these unaware people. And if I had a red pen, it would be lovely at the top. But what we have is we have problems, and people are more inclined to move away from pain than they are towards pleasure. So these people that are at problem stage, they're early in the cycle. They may be ready to buy, but probably in the next 90 days to 2 years. You know, when we move down from problems, they'll then start looking for solutions. And as they begin to look into solutions, this is your person who's just received their ERC letter. This is the one that's, sitting on a really bad sofa that's now starting to really hurt the back. This is getting closer to the point of thinking about holidays, And then what will happen is after solutions, they'll start going into product. And the product in our world is actually really people. Who is the person that can give me this solution for the problem that I'm feeling? And then naturally what you'll start to get is obviously deals, income, money, and everything else. So 2 advisors in my team. Jamie's been with me for over a year. Zoe's been with me for just a little bit longer, both employed. And then Sarah's just moved to our protection advisor. So when I looked at my employed team, because I completely separate it now. Obviously, I've had a self-employed division. It was solely self-employed in 2022 with one person administering them. But I saw the conversions weren't there in the mortgage and the insurance side. So I've switched the model in the last sort of 12, 18 months. And what we've got is people who are at problem stage. I look at, these are the people who join your list. So these people are the people that I would call, I've got more room this side, they're your leads. Okay? And over the course of the last 4 weeks, we've had 52 leads. Now, of those 52, they're just people who have joined our list. Some of them will have made an inquiry. Some of them would have downloaded our guide. Some of them would have just joined our email list. They're just people that we can look at in Active CRM and go, you're a new contact in this 4-week period. Of those, what we've had is a certain amount of people that are looking for solutions. So these are the people that have moved to the point of wanting an appointment. So out of those appointments, what we're looking at for that, 46 is what we've had in the last 4 weeks. Now the challenge with these 46 is actually the percentage that came from these is quite low. Majority of these people have been on the email list. One of them was 2021 and just randomly booked in an appointment with the team. So as we start to go forward, what we then begin to see is a certain amount of people that are at the awaiting doc stage. They're the people that we can begin to help. Okay, so as we move forward into kind of awaiting documents, these are the ones where they're starting to go ahead and they're starting to think, what can we do? So out of our number of people in the last 4 weeks, not many of them here, they've gone forward to 24. So these two kind of interact in terms of the way they're at. So what we find is 52 people join the list. We then get 46 people that want to take the next logical step. We then get a certain percentage of those that we can go ahead with, and effectively we move them into ACRE at that point. So we move them into the compliance system to get the documents and all of that kind of stuff. And then we ended up doing 16 deals, many of which were not from obviously these, a couple of them were from here. And the sooner we start focusing on this part of building our email list, the more we begin to get results. And we did about 45,000 out of the course of the last 4 weeks from those people. But there's no quibble over fees. There's no argument. What you find particularly if you're running ads or something like that, like this is 3% of the people that are necessarily ready to buy now. Whereas if someone's gone through this whole entire journey with you, there's no argument. As I say, one of them joined our list in 2021. He's been getting our emails, hasn't engaged with us, had a call in 2021, thinking about solutions, created a bit of a plan. It was a happy birthday email that he replied to and then booked straight in with the team. So it's like, it's not even an email that's relevant to mortgages or insurance or anything along those kind of lines. So as we start to understand what the funnel achieves, the ultimate goal is how do we leverage this in social media to effectively build the email list. So the first thing you're doing is you're producing content with a view to connect with an audience. We're all here connecting today. If you go networking, you're making connections. I see online and offline as exactly the same. The online world is just more efficient than the offline world because you can produce content, do videos, post in Facebook groups, whatever it is. So you want to make connections and you want to be adding people to your friends list in some way, shape or form on your chosen channel. We then want to produce content that talks about this connection and is relative to the audience and the problems at the top of the funnel. The goal is ideally to get some comments because we can get some interaction, and this can be automated through Active CRM in time, but you can't really do it without the funnel off of the back of that. As we then begin to start some conversations with people, you know, are you thinking about buying? Are you thinking about investing? What's your plans? That kind of stuff. We can then begin to capture their details and get them on the email list. So these people, this is the purpose of today, is this capturing piece. And a percentage of those people, when you capture them, will automatically book into your calendar. So essentially anyone who goes to my website, we've kind of got rid of this part of it because they land on the website, maybe they've done a Google search, maybe they've been recommended. We capture their details with a form and then we immediately serve them with a calendar. We get them on a call and we make conversions and sales off of the back of that. So what we're focusing on today is how do we work with these people up here, which is the biggest pool of audience, rather than trying to work with people down here where there's such a smaller percentage and it's more competitive and you pay higher for, you know, if you're buying the leads, for example, or if you're competing on Google, your cost per clicks more, your cost per leads more. We're building a business that has sustainability and future by focusing more up here. So the goal is we're going to create, first of all, something that you want to offer your audience and make sure that it's something of value. And I'm going to show you how to do that through ChatGPT. We're then going to turn it into a test document that we can leverage and use. Before you pay any money to get it designed or anything sexy like that, you don't need to. As soon as we've done that, we'll then build out this page. Again, all AI copy. And as soon as we capture their details, what most marketing agencies will do when someone clicks the button is say, just get first name, last name, number, email. That's because they're more interested in getting you leads rather than getting you quality data that you can build a relationship with and market. So when we start capturing things like what you're looking to do, we can target our emails in the future. If someone's saving for a deposit, guess what? We can give them an email. ChatGPT written, 5 ways to save for a deposit. If they've got poor credit, I'll give you the template. I've got a poor credit email written by ChatGPT that you can bust out to anyone who's got poor credit. You can equally get them onto Check My File, get you 12 quids, helps them and benefits in that way. Obviously, and it's about when are you thinking of buying. You can prioritize these ones for a callback. These ones we just leave and nurture. So we just capture information that's relative to who we want to target, and then we put them in front of. We don't need a video on here. You do if you're running ads, but none of you guys are going to be doing that immediately. Videos can be added later. I didn't add this until probably 3 months afterwards, but we'll serve them with a calendar to say, hey, if you're ready and you're thinking about, buying and you're more in the product aware kind of stage, then we'll put a calendar in front of them, and then we'll serve them with a thank you page. And on here, we'll just put a link to your website, a link to some social media, and they'll have a choice as to whether they want to go and follow either one of those ones as well. We've had these for ages, but for example, these could even be funnels in themselves. And the idea is you can change your funnel out. If you're going to run ads, you want to change it out every 90 days because you're pretty much targeting the same audience, but you just want to serve them with something different. But the whole goal is, when we're producing content up here, the big challenge that everybody's doing right now on socials consistently is they're producing content, but they're not taking them anywhere. It's like, where are we moving them to? If we can move them to that next step and you get their data over somebody else's, you've won half the battle. But fundamentally, we want to start with who are we talking to and who are we going to target? That's the first piece of the puzzle, because we have to almost work in reverse and say, okay, what are we going to kind of give them at these phases that captures their details and gets them? and then we can obviously produce content that drives people into that next logical step. So first part is obviously your niche. We've all got that. We're going to create the gift for those individuals. This is just that illustration of these are strangers. These are the people that are at kind of solution-y type phase that are ready to either have an appointment or get into calls. And then we're going to start moving them down. So we want to start focusing on what your gift is going to be for them, which we are going to do using the wonders of ChatGPT. If only I had it in 2019.